Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
LCS Hockey. Because that intro was about 2 hours long. Like, was that a whole concert or something?
D7 Nirvana, yeah, right there.
That is terrible.
Great.
That is terrible.
Cover of the Wipers, an old Wipers song. D7.
Oh, the Wipers. The Wipers?
Yes, the Wipers.
The Wipers. Wow, that's impressive then.
Not a Wipers.
No.
The Wipers. Yeah.
The Wipers. Wow, look at them. Good Lord, that was fucking terrible.
That's great.
It's the show that should have retired years ago. It is the LCS Hockey Radio Show, brought to you as always by Honest John Churchfield and by the #1 hockey site in all the land, LCShockey.com. LCS. We're the ones to talk bad about you. We're the ones that talk bad about you. All right, Mike Dell, we're supposed to be talking to Adam Rank here soon, so I didn't even prepare a monologue because you asked me not to, because you said...
Oh.
Like comedic genius sometimes intimidates guests.
Yes, it does.
So just back off tonight because we need Rank to bring the funny, not Larry.
Yeah.
So,
to be honest, that's never been a problem in the past, Larry bringing the funny. But if you wanted to take the night off, that's fine. Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Adam Rank is here.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. So
well, introduce him, Larry.
Hey, it's Adam Rank.
Well, don't you have a big write-up
No.
to introduce him?
No, I didn't write nothing up, no.
Oh, all right.
I thought you did that.
No. Adam Rank, are you there?
Yeah, you guys seem well prepared. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a well-oiled machine, buddy. Yeah, hey, thanks so much for
Larry,
joining
don't
us.
Oh, no. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you were saying, like, all week I've been twittering back and forth with you to set things up, and you're like, hey, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. And I was like, well, what is wrong with you that you can't wait to do our show? I don't know.
I felt like I was bumming you out. Like, it was like, I'm impressed. I'm very happy to do all these. I don't get many of these opportunities.
Now you're in the big leagues now. You're hanging around Damashek, you know?
Absolutely. I feel like I am the Regis to his Joey Bishop.
At least.
At least. And that... Did anybody get that reference? I would guarantee probably not.
I did, you know. But
all right.
Apparently you're a man in your 50s, is that right? Because that's a very old reference.
Yes. It sometimes appears that way.
Yeah. Now, Adam Rank, we should mention to everybody that you are the co-host now with on Dave Damashek Football Podcast at NFL.com. And I'm sure all our listeners, we're big in the Czech Republic.
Absolutely. As you should be.
Yeah, we're pals with the Dave. So I'm sure most of our listeners know that you were one of the little hosts there on the NFL.com Fantasy Football Show with the Dave and Michelle Beisner and all those folks. And we'll get into that. Yeah, go ahead.
They put me off to the side, though. They didn't they didn't trust me enough to be on there all 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Like, my co-host Larry is on the line as well. Larry, say hello to Adam Rank.
Hello, Adam Rank.
Larry, I want you to bring the funny. I want to take the night off.
So does everybody.
I want you to do it all.
Yeah, see, That's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, people have been waiting 3 years for Larry to bring the fire to the monologue. I don't know. But, yeah, we'll get into all that NFL fantasy football stuff in a moment. But let's learn more. Let's learn all about Adam Rank. Because you're a man of mystery. No one really knows much about you.
Yeah, I don't even get a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I tried to look you up on Wikipedia. What the hell? You're
what's
not
the
even there.
deal? Exactly. They got Dave. If you go on Dave's page, it says Dave Damashek on Fantasy Live with Michelle Beisner, total link, and then Adam Rank, no link. How is this? How am I on the show and I don't get a link? That seems a little rude. That's
gotta hurt, huh?
A little bit, yeah. It keeps me up at night.
Yeah. So why don't you tell the people where'd you grow up? Where you? I saw you're from Huntington Beach, California. Is that correct?
That's where I live now. Yeah, I grew up just outside of Anaheim, minutes from Angel Stadium, watching the Rams and Angels and all that good stuff. And I've been out here since, first grade. So, I'm a Southern California guy through and through.
And how old of a fellow are you, by the way?
Why would you ask such a thing?
Because it helps you put in perspective.
Because then it's identity theft and somebody can...
Oh, all right.
I'm kidding. No, I'll tell you this. I'm old enough to have covered the Los Angeles Rams.
What? Huh.
Yeah, I was in college, and I worked for a little paper called the Orange County Sports Page, not to be confused with the Orange County Register, but I actually covered the Rams as a 20-year-old college student.
Wow, how about that? Rams. Now, so, Larry and I, we're from Pittsburgh, so we grew up Steeler fans when I was younger, and we really enjoyed Super Bowl 14, but you probably not so much.
Of course you would. And you know what? And that's the thing that always offends me, too, is when you guys went out and you lost in Super Bowl 30 and you were talking about Neil O'Donnell and how he threw the game away. Yeah, but Ferragamo did the same thing. The same thing. I'll give you, how about this? I'll give you guys Super Bowl 30. You can be the champs of Super Bowl 30. The Los Angeles Rams will rightfully take Super Bowl 14 as they deserved.
No, that's okay. I think the Steelers fans enjoy 4 out of 6. We had the 4 out of 6 there. But come on, it's Jack Lambert making a play on that interception, jumping up and catching it, making a big play. But looking back on that Super Bowl, it was much closer than people remember. Like I think when people think of the Steelers' 4 Super Bowls, they're like, oh, we had the 2 huge games against the Cowboys, and then the Rams, Vince Ferragamo, who cares about that? But that was a very close game. The Steelers were trailing into the fourth quarter, and then Bradshaw hit Stallworth on that long pass. Beautiful. And then Jack Lambert makes the game-saving interception there at the end. So that had to just kill you, right?
Yeah, I had a friend not too long ago was talking about NFL films and I didn't, he's like, I don't like NFL films because they make these games seem closer. Like, I was watching the Super Bowl 14 highlights and it seemed like the Rams had a chance. And I'm like, they were leading 19-17 going into that. They definitely had a chance. They outplayed them. They were making them look bad. But the one thing that always held back the Rams all those years was they just didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah. Because after Ferragamo left, who they have in the 80s?
Oh, geez. They went through they would bring in every washed-up scrub you could think of. Burt Jones came in for a bit. Yeah. Who is the other guy? His name's on Chris Chandler, I know, is in there. There was another guy. Dieter Brock, of course.
Everett. Jim Everett.
Well, Jim Everett was good. Yeah. Well, I like Jim Everett. I probably like Jim Everett more than most Rams fans. But they drafted Everett in '86, and then in '87 they traded Dickerson away. Like we couldn't try to go with Everett and Dickerson just to see what would have happened. I don't think they would have beaten the 49ers, but it would have been nice to try.
So did that crush you when they left town?
Yeah, I don't even. Well, it's terrible for me because I also went to Cal State Fullerton. And we dropped our football program in '92, and then we went out, and the Rams folded in '94. I'm like, does nobody want me to watch football anymore? I don't even refer to it. The worst thing in the world was that team in St. Louis winning the Super Bowl. That was the worst thing. It was awful, and it was bad enough. It was bad, and the irony of ironies is they got one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And obviously I have friends who are older than me who really remember the 70s when the Rams needed a quarterback. And it really hurt because Warner was so good, and he was so great, and it was tough. It was just tough to stomach watching that whole thing in '99. And then, of course, Georgia has to get onto the podium and not give a shout out like, hey, here's a shout out to those of us who stuck with us and are still out there in LA. But no, she poured, more dirt on the grave by going, see, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
Which was terrible.
When the team moved, did you at least, so you just instantly hated them? Or, because these are still your guys, right? Like, did you
that
have
was
any
the
connection?
tough part. And like I said, as a college kid, I was getting a chance to know Jerome Bettis, Troy Drayton, some guys I was able to talk to and had a little bit of a relationship with. And them trading Bettis to the Steelers actually helped a ton. Like, because you're right. There were still guys that you liked, and like Isaac Bruce, and you still liked them, but you didn't like the team, and you're not going to root for them. Suddenly, kind of like, if your wife left you, hey, we still had some strong feelings, but you're a whore now. So that's the way it was. And when Bettis left, I'm like, okay, this makes it much easier. And then when they changed the uniforms, that was a complete relief because you have that automatic that thing where you see the helmet and you just want to root for it. And you're like, oh wait, yeah, that's somebody else. But now it's like the old whore is, dyed her hair and looks terrible and too many plastic surgeries. Yeah. So it's kind of nice.
Those were some great helmets, though, the old LA Rams.
They were the best. Were they not? Was that the Rams uniform was always, to me, as a biased person, those were always the best. The blue and gold, just a stunning uniform. And I like, and like our friend Dave, we're both consider ourselves uniform aficionados. Of course, I defer to him as the soon-to-be NFL uniform czar, and I will sit there on his right hand. And my hope of hopes, and I'm not saying that I think this is going to happen, is that the Rams do move back to Los Angeles and they restore the glory with those special uniforms.
Yeah, that would be something. The Rams have a nice history in the NFL, too. Like, it goes way back. A lot of great players, not just fly-by-night operation they had there. Now, so when the Rams left and you're without a football team, do you adopt another team? How does that work?
I did actually have Chargers season tickets for a while.
Huh.
And you kind of, there was never any hatred for the Chargers. It wasn't like the Raiders. Like, I have a friend who became a Raiders fan. Like, what? Like, how is that? That's the worst possible choice outside of the 49ers, I think. But it doesn't, the thing with the Chargers, though, and this is the hard part, is that you get to be a certain age and you come aboard, and the Chargers, the year the Rams left was the year after the Chargers made the Super Bowl. So it wasn't really like you couldn't full-fledged just, hey, I'm a fan, because they're coming off an AFC championship. So you're like, I don't really have the history here. I mean, because, well, you guys don't know as Steeler fans, but for other fans who root for other teams, you go through a lot of painful losses and stuff, and that helps guide you to when your team does win. Like when the Angels finally won, there was like, okay, you built up all those years and you finally got your release. It's like me with the Lakers too. It's like I don't know what it's like to have a bad basketball team. So it didn't seem fair to jump on another team full-fledged. I do. So I'd never really considered myself a full-on Chargers fan, but I kind of gravitate towards them a little bit.
Even with North Turner there, you can still gravitate towards them?
No, that's actually pushing me away. I'm watching the Cardinals now.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Well, that was another thing. I like I started kind of following the Cardinals because have you guys been out to Tempe ever?
No, I rarely leave the house.
Okay. But if you ever, like Tempe, like it was like a fun place to go watch a game. And some of my roommates and I in college and years after, we just decided like we should start road tripping out there. So we'd go out there, watch an ASU game, watch a Cardinals game. And so, I kind of, paid a little bit of attention to the Cardinals too, which I know violates some sort of fan conduct rule. I'm sure Dave will have.
Yes, don't tell him that. He'll be very.
Yeah, I know. I got to keep that under my hat. But I sort of liked them, but then they go to the Super Bowl, and you're like, well, I don't really feel right running around when there's probably some Cardinals fans who have been around forever. So I just kind of, and plus with the job, I don't want to be too over the top with, I think it becomes quite evident especially as Dave and I do more of these podcasts, like where our allegiances lie. Mm-hmm. But at the same point, it just feels weird kind of gravy training onto somebody when you didn't have that youthful history with them.
Yeah. Now, so you got involved with writing about the football when you were a 20-year-old kid there in the Orange County newspaper, and you just continued writing about the NFL your whole life? Have you been doing it nonstop since then?
Pretty much. I started doing that, and I worked for the LA Times, and I actually got an internship with the NFL back in 1995. Ironic, it was the year the Rams left,
yeah,
and the Raiders. Thankfully, I was happy to help them move out. So, yeah, so I didn't completely fall off into the NFL abyss, but I started interning there, and then every summer, I interned there for the next 2 or 3 summers. I'm getting old now, but yeah, I next 2 or 3 summers, and then when I graduated, I just never went away. I was like Costanza, or I think it was Kramer, who just kept showing up. And then nobody ever thought to ask. And then someday they said, oh, we're paying you as an intern, but now here's your full-time deal. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect.
Did you ever carry a briefcase full of Ritz crackers?
I did. That was my first 2 years, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very good. All right, so you've been involved with the NFL since that time. And then you got the gig last year on the NFL Fantasy Show. And that put you in front of the camera. Is that the first time?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into your comedy in a little bit here. But is that the first time you've been in front of the camera doing stuff like that?
Babe in the woods. They just put me out there, and I think it was quite clear I had no idea what I was doing, but it was a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. They, like you mentioned earlier, they kept you off on the side there, and it was the Dave and Michelle Beisner, and who was the other fellow with them over there?
What was that guy's name? He was a little petite Italian guy, right?
Is that
Fabiano? I'm kidding. It's Michael Fabiano.
Michael Fabiano, yeah.
I'm kidding. We kid him. We tease him. He's a good guy. But Beisner referred to him as a petite Italian fellow last year on the show, and that kind of stuck with me. I don't know, because I'm not over that. I'm over on that side, not doing anything. I'm just kind of tweeting out to people and watching the show. So, which actually I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
It turned out to me to be like a good thing. Like you don't want to like take the rookies and give them too much of the playbook to remember. Just like you sit over there, read a couple of tweets, make a horrible prediction, and call it a Sunday, which seemed to be perfect for me.
Now it's funny that you bring up responding to tweets because my buddy Larry, he's got a bone to pick with you. I think Larry.
What?
Yeah. Listen here, Adam Rank. Every Sunday morning. Sometimes it'd be like 5 a.m. I'm already posting on the little tweets, asking you fantasy football advice. And it's like I'd always try to throw like a little joke in or a little anecdote to like try to humor it up a little bit so that it wasn't just like, oh, should I take Brady or Roethlisberger? Maybe a jab at the Dave. Nothing. I can't get you to answer me one time. What is up with that, Adam Rank?
That's terrible. I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
I want to go back and look and see what I missed, because any shot at Dave I surely would have read.
I know. That's what I thought. I was trying any ploy. I don't know. I think at one time I even asked, please, for the love of God, just read this. I think it was something like that. I don't know
who
if I
are
had...
you? Were you sending it to me personally, or were you sending it to the Fantasy Live account?
The Fantasy Live. The Fantasy Live.
The problem with that one, and I feel terrible because didn't you call him? Because there was somebody who used to write in and always used to refer to him as Dr. Dave or Mr. Funny or
Dr. Funny.
Dr. Funny.
Dr. Funny, the Professor
of Mustard. He called himself that.
Yeah. Of course. I noticed it wasn't coming from a lot of other people, but
no.
But no, I always believe me. If somebody would have taken a shot at one of the hosts, I would always. My eyes would be searching for that, but there's a ton of them that come in. I mean, the problem is if you're in too early, then those get buried by the guy who asks, should I start Tom Brady like 15 times?
I see. All right. Fair
figured out, and I figured out towards the end, and listen, you've got every right to be mad at me because I clearly dropped the ball. But it took me, it honestly took me a while to get savvy with it and be like, oh, I can block this user. Like, okay, done. Like, if you're asking if you should start Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron, you don't deserve to be playing and you don't deserve my time.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And then you guys started filming the little comedy bits and stuff, the little skits and the make-em-ups and everything.
Yeah.
How'd you like doing all that stuff?
How did you like all those stuff? Did it come off okay?
I thought they were good.
Yeah, Larry loved them.
No, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was something. It was a different way to present some information that guys aren't doing, and it'd be funny. We would see something like that on, we'd be doing we did a match game or we'd do a game show, and then a week later, oh look, Total Access is doing a pyramid game. Like, where would they have gotten that idea?
Yeah.
How did they find that idea? And I think it might have been in episode 0 of our podcast or something, or it might have actually been in something that I wrote, where I'm like, you know what? They got to get the cameras out of the green room in the draft because it's ruining the whole thing. I mean, it's a terrible, don't let the teams call them. All of a sudden, on Total Access a week later, there they are talking about, hey, they should get the cameras out of there. So I feel we were kind of trailblazers in this thing.
Yeah, they don't want to give you any credit, but
Oh, never.
Yeah. That's how the man works.
That's how it is. We get letters from 280 Park. The guys from the suits over at the league office will send us the notes about, hey, don't be talking about Peyton Manning like that. But they'll still take our stuff and try to pass it off on their own. It would be like if somebody started doing like a top 11 list or something.
Hey.
Like they would be taking my pick 6 and just adding 5.
Hey,
because
wait a minute.
Hold on, if I ever found out there was somebody out there doing a top 11 list, I would be furious.
I'll have you know, sir, I stole that from David Letterman, not from you. You understand? That's what happened.
Didn't we all? That's what everybody did. We just picked our own arbitrary number.
Yeah. Now, do you actually get emails from the offices telling you don't make fun of Peyton Manning and stuff? Do they actually crack down on that?
Listen, I was going to say they send it to us, but no, they send it to me because I guess I'm the expendable one, so I've actually got to be the one who's. They're like, you shouldn't admit that you're not watching the top 100 or that you never refer to the St. Louis football team by the alleged nickname.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, hey, keep that under wraps, You don't want anybody, why don't you want people to? I think it's nice. I feel that I'm standing up for the people, in Los Angeles, who are still upset that 15 years, 16 years later, we still don't have football. And, anybody who's sick of getting this stuff, this nonsense with Donovan, that was the thing. And that was my whole point about the top 100, is that I was excited. I love lists, as you guys can probably figure out. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited. I'm like, this top 100, this is going to be great. I can't wait. Because at least the players have to be able to see through the BS. Nope, Donovan McNabb, first name. And I'm like, off. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
I'm with you. I ruined it for me, too. He's not even one of the top 100 Donovans in the league. He's number 100. It's ridiculous.
You're absolutely right.
An absurd show. Now, Larry, did you have something else you wanted to say to Adam?
No, I was just, when we were still talking about the Fantasy Live show there, I just wanted to know, are you guys going to be back, assuming there's going to be a season this year? You guys already, assured a spot for, doing the same kind of show this year?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because of the whole labor situation. So I think people are tentatively wanting to go forward with it and possibly be doing even more with it because I think from a business standpoint, they see how valuable fantasy is and they would probably want more of it. But unfortunately, the labor situation is going to make things kind of murky for a while. But I do know that our fantasy game launches on June 1st, and Dave and I will be back filming some, and along with Michael Fabiano, we will be filming some vignettes for that too. So we will be starting on our way pretty soon. Season be damned, and hopefully, this thing gets resolved quickly and we can kind of iron things out. But I would say the future looks pretty good. I hope I'm coming back. I have no power over that decision, but I, of course, would love to do it.
Well,
I hope so.
Now, let me ask you, like last year, after you guys would get done with the show, would you guys all hang out and watch games together?
Listen, we weren't allowed to make eye contact with Beisner, so that part of it, it is like, you're like, no, of course. She'd, after the show, she would say, listen, Alan, that was really good. And I'd be like, no, it's Adam. And she's like, whatever. And she'd run off. No, I'm kidding. She's awesome. We would actually, all of us would hang out. And we would, because I would go in and blog, and Fabiano was writing a blog, and Dave would hang out with us. And we'd sit around this table. If you could envision, we have this blue room here where all the video team is, and they're all cutting highlights from the game, and there's a bank of TVs, so we can see every TV that's up there, and we'd be sitting there, and it actually was a lot like our podcast, and it's just, we just sit around and shoot the breeze and talk about football and make fun of players. And of course, there's a guy who works here who's a Colts fan, and he would get upset every Sunday as we were making fun of Peyton Manning. But no, it's great. I mean, it's one of the best parts of the gig is just sitting. Is like it's part of your job on Sunday. Like, well, I got to watch these games, and so the crew, all four of us, along with the video crew, we'd be in here watching the games.
No, like when Dave's sitting around, when Dan Machek's sitting around watching the game, like does he scratch his balls a lot? What
does that mean? Why would you even ask that?
You know what else I envision?
Who doesn't, though? I mean, that's
yeah.
Is he breathing? I don't know. What do you want me to say? It is what you would think it would be. It's what we're all doing. Everybody's it's very comfortable. You know what? And here's the thing about Dave. And I got to tell you now, a lot of big stars like Dave are walking up and down the halls here at the NFL. And after our show, we were privy to the green room, where we'd go back and you would run into the likes of Warren Sapp and Michael Irvin and Rich Eisen, all the guys who were doing the Total Access version of their Sunday morning show. Steve Mariucci was there. I don't know if I can drop any more names, but they'd be out there, big stars, and it's kind of cool to hang out, and they have a nice spread for us. Now, me, I would go in and get my food and eat and leave, but Dave was a man of the people. And he would stuff his pockets full of sausage and pancakes. Right. Yeah, but he would bring it back for the video crew to let them share as part of the experience. He's a magnanimous guy. I mean, of course, none of this money is coming out of his own pocket, but the thought is still there.
Sharing the food with the below the liners, the BTL.
Yeah, exactly.
The BTL. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, of course, he would ask them to go pull his car around or something. But a nice gesture, I felt.
A man of the people. Now how do you folks over there, how do you deal with the reader comments? Because like they post on the websites, one of the most frequent things you'll see over there, comment is abusive and has been removed. Now, how do you guys deal with that?
I think there's somebody who just sits there and reads the comments and is like, nope. And I think there's a reporting thing. For my stories, I think they've already given up. They said, whatever. Say what you want about rank. Like, if they say something bad about somebody else, about, one of our big-name guys, that comes off the site before the last keystroke is hit. But you pretty much have carte blanche to say what you want about me. And the pick six.
Right.
Because I didn't realize all these bad things about me until, it started. Like, it's come to the point my wife won't even read the site. She's like, I can't read it.
Yeah,
I find it hilarious.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know if you remember, Adam Rank, but that's how I first interacted with you. I made a cracked wise about you after you filmed one of your little fantasy skits with Dave and Beisner, and something about they should have let it's always better when you get to see bosoms go up and down when they win. They should have let rank win or something like that. I said. Does that ring a bell? But right away, you IM'd me saying that it was funny, and right then I like, oh, he's a good guy. He gets it. He's a funny guy. So right there, I knew you were good people.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I do appreciate. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm with a lot of these guys. I know if the internet would have been around as the way it is now, back when I was younger, I could only imagine a lot of the mean things I would have said to some of my favorites. Where you can't. And then when somebody, like I don't remember exactly what you wrote, but I remember your comment about what it was about. It was because we did one of those match game type of things.
Yeah, it was some sort of game show you were doing.
Yeah, and it was funny. I mean, like, sometimes these guys, they get really creative in how they rip you, and you can't help but admire it. You're like, he put a lot of thought into that. He should, and I try to do that with people. When they take the time to tell me how badly I suck in a real creative way, I feel it deserves props. Some kid did that on Twitter recently. And I wrote him back, and I said, that was hilarious. Like, I get where you're coming from, and now we're buddies. We're chums.
Yeah. It's just, it's a hopeless thing to do because you're putting yourself out there, and people are just sitting at the keyboard just ready to rip you and being sarcastic and wise asses. And it's a no-win situation, And even if you say something, like if you really rip into a player, right away you just alienated, 1/30th of your audience or whatever. Every fan of that team is just pissed at you for the rest of their lives, So
yeah,
because when I was Googling up to read out background info on you, I happened to stumble across a few Indianapolis Colts message boards.
What?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, they're not big fans of yours.
I gotta tell you, they should be fans of mine. They should be like, yes, somebody finally gets. If I was, I gotta say it. If I was a fan of the Colts, and I know we talk about Peyton Manning a little too much, and I'm sure I'm going to get a 280 Park letter for this. But if I was a fan of the Colts, I would be sick of it. I would be like, you know what? I think that it's time that this guy goes. Like, he's great.
Really,
we win all these.
Off the team.
We
him
get
out
it.
of town.
We've gone as far. When are we drafting his replacement? Because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a team. They're going to go 14-2, and then they're going to play a good defense in the playoffs, and it's going to be all over. And they were very fortunate, and I think we touched on this in episode 1 of the Dave Damashek football program, is that if you're playing the NFL, if you look at that game, it wasn't so much that the Colts came back and beat the Patriots, but it was the Chargers blowing the game against the Patriots the week before, where the Chargers would have then hosted the Colts in the AFC Championship game, and the Colts never would have won that game. So then there you go. The Colts wouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl. Manning wouldn't have had a ring. And then even then, I don't think people would stand up and recognize that this guy just doesn't come through in the clutch. But going back to your point, I guess that makes me a bad guy in Indianapolis.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad about anybody. And then I saw Miami Dolphins message board. They were all upset that you're ripping on the 72 Dolphins for always saying, how they celebrate the team was losing and stuff. And they were irate.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Your record was beaten. The Patriots beat it. They went 16-0, greater than 14-0. Because, I did a pick 6 about greatest streaks, and there was Dolphin fans like, how do you not put the Dolphins on there? Easy, because the Patriots beat it. End of story.
But I like how the Patriots, they would have been considered easily the greatest football team in the history of the planet if not for, that last minute of the game. If not for those 2 fluke plays with Tyree and then Plexico. And now they're nobody.
Where did you guys fall? When you were watching that Super Bowl, I'm always fascinated about this to see what people think. Where were you guys, where was your rooting allegiance in that game? Were you rooting for the Giants to blow the perfect season, or were you hoping that Eli Manning would not win a Super Bowl?
Larry, how were you rooting?
Oh, I was definitely rooting for the Patriots to lose. I hate anything Boston related.
Yeah, I was rooting for the Giants as well because I just hate the Patriots.
I'm with you. You know what? I don't like Boston as much as the next guy, but for a couple of reasons. For whatever reason, I don't always consider the Patriots to be Boston. And I think also it goes back to 2001, and this goes to being a guy without a team, is that anybody who plays the Raiders is a team that I'm going to be rooting for. So in the tuck rule game, I'm rooting for the Patriots, and when the Patriots win on such an awkward circumstance that was and let me tell you, being out here in Southern California, it was so awesome watching. We went out to the bar. I had a couple of buddies who were from Boston. We went out to the bar, and all the Raider fans were leaving, and it was so great. And then they went out, and then they got a chance to beat the St. Louis FC in the Super Bowl. And I had actually, because I was working for NFL Publishing at the time, actually predicted it because I was putting together the Patriots section of that Super Bowl program. And I called it, and just beating the Raiders, beating St. Louis FC, I may never witness my team winning a Super Bowl, but I think that's as close as I could have ever come. And it sucks because it was Boston, because I hate the Red Sox and I hate the Celtics.
I just hated how Tom Brady, before that game, he's like, remember when someone asked, who made the prediction? Was it Plexico that the final score was going to be like 17-14 and Brady
17-14.
We're going to score 14 points? Oh, okay. Remember how he was all smug?
Yeah, he's like, that's all we're going to score. You think that's it? Like our high-powered offense is not going to score more than 40. Yeah, right, pal. Yeah, I remember that.
Pissed me off. Hey, in all your travels with the NFL, though, I won't ask you which guys are jerks, but like, have you met any NFL players or NFL-related celebrities who, before you met them, you thought, this guy's probably a clown, and then you met him and you're like, he's a really nice guy? Have you ever been surprised like that?
No. You're never pleasantly surprised that way.
Never.
Your initial instinct is pretty much what it's going to be.
Wow.
Nah, there's just, I don't know.
Bad news for all you Keyshawn Johnson fans out there.
It's really, I'm trying to think, it seems weird because if you ever, you've listened to me on podcasts and stuff, it seems weird that I would actually have a positive outlook on anybody, but I usually want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I also knew, like, to not try to read too much into, like, just don't go in with the expectation that these guys are just great guys. They're just normal, they're just guys.
So you never met a Raider, like a famous Raider, like, what about Rod Woodson? He's got to be a good guy, right? He played for the Raiders.
Yeah, but for some reason, I always thought Rod Woodson would be a good guy, and he was. He was a Steeler. He seemed like a good guy. I'm trying to think, a bad guy who turned out to be a good guy. Trying to think, I was surprised. I was surprised how down to earth Kyle Turley was.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was going to be. Oh, you know what? I can tell. Okay, I tell you a couple of things. Kyle Turley, he seems high strung, but I kind of thought like he would be. I'm like, okay, I could go either way. That this guy could be cool or not. And he was really cool. He's actually one of the best guys I ever met doing this. One of my favorite guys. But the guy
I remember, Kyle Turley, the offensive lineman for the Saints, he threw his helmet that one game, and he was kind of a hot-headed guy, right?
Yeah, he was great. And I was interviewing him not too long after that. So it was fresh, it was fresh in everybody's minds. And I'm like, this guy's not going to want to do this. But no, he came in and did it. It was super cool. We grew up pretty close to each other, so we kind of had some background like, oh, yeah, I know this place, that's that place, and kind of bonded pretty quickly over that, and he was really cool. One guy I was kind of surprised about, I didn't expect him to be a jerk, but I had always felt, and I talked to him in his rookie year, the first time I ever got a chance to talk to Pat Tillman is I thought he was going to be this like gung-ho, ultra-competitive, like a Henry Rollins type of guy with like no sense of humor and was just going to be like this isn't going to be good. And like he was just going to be super serious. He was going to be like Lance Storm. May I be serious for a second?
And Lance Storm reference. Nice.
You like that? All right, thanks. So I was completely wrong. He could not have been a nicer guy, super mellow. And a guy, you watched him play, you figured like, and I asked him, I said, are you the kind of guy that's the ultra competitive, I got to win at video games or whatever? And he goes, nope, not at all. It's like, do you think I care if I lose a ping pong game? He's like, I don't give a shit. Oh, excuse me. He goes, I don't care. I correctly quoted him because that's exactly what he said. But
we don't give a fuck.
All right. Oh, good to know. All right, this is perfect.
Yeah, you can work blue. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
Sweet. So he was the coolest guy, and it seems weird now, so far after the fact, when people ask me like, who is the coolest, and you're like, oh, you know what? Honestly, before he even went into the military, I would have said Pat Tillman, and I would still stick by that. But of course, everybody knows his story, and they think it's kind of a grandstanding move, a hi-hat type of move. But no, but legitimately, I've said that the moment after I first talked to him.
Yeah, we're big Pat Tillman fans here at the show, and I've done segments on him in the past. Yeah, he was just a much different guy than people expect.
He was
a well-read fellow, like kind of a Renaissance man almost, and much different than the public persona of Pat Tillman.
Super smart, and he always liked to know about you as much as you were calling to talk to him, because we would, this was way back in the 90s, and I called him, and I'm interviewing him. He's like, hey, wait. He goes, where'd you go to college? And I go, I went to Cal State Fullerton. He goes, do you know C.J. Ankrum, who was a player on the Cal State Fullerton baseball team? And I'm like, oh, I know that guy. And he goes, we're only a degree away. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, have you ever heard of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? And at that time in the 90s, I had never heard about it.
Yeah.
So Pat Tillman took 5-10 minutes explaining what the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon was, and he's like, go on the computer and go on the internet. And I'm doing an interview.
What?
Yeah. I was sitting there during an interview. He's like, oh, type in so-and-so. And like, so we were having fun doing that. And that's just the kind of guy he was. And every year I would call him, and there was always something with him. He was, one year he was running a marathon, and then it became a triathlon, and he always had something to go on. Great guy. I still think, I know this will never happen. I know the Arizona State retired as number 42. I wish, and I think this needs to start here at the Pac-10. I think the Pac-10 should retire his number 42, and I think at some point every NFL player should, and even if the NFL's never going to do this, but that if I'm a player in the NFL, I'm not going to wear number 40. And if I was involved with a team, if I was the coach of the Chargers, I would just say, you know what, just between us, nobody on this team's wearing 40. It's not going to be official, but nobody's wearing 40, especially in like a military town like that.
Yeah, I would fully support that. I mean, who's it hurting? Come on, just pay tribute to a good fella who died serving his country, And Larry, you just watched the Pat Tillman story, the documentary, right?
Yeah, I did watch it. Yeah, I watched it about 2 weeks ago. It was a good show, good movie. I enjoyed it.
I bet I haven't been able to watch it yet. Did you guys read his book?
No.
That the movie was based on?
No, I haven't read
did not. No.
Yeah, that was tough. I had a really hard time even finishing that. So it's still tough to this day to even think about it. But I do want to see that movie.
Well, on that cheerful note, let's go to the comedy.
Yeah.
Perfect segue into the comedy, because you also do the stand-up.
I do.
All over the place. And I saw on your website, you just play, you're playing clubs all over the place. And you played the John Lovitz Comedy Club. And that, you know John Lovitz? Have you ever met the John Lovitz?
No, he's never been there when I've been there.
Yeah.
But it would be cool. Obviously, he was somebody I admired when he was on Saturday Night Live, and I did admire his stand-up. I still do, rather. I didn't mean to make that seem like it was past tense, but I always liked him as a stand-up, and his club's great. That's actually one of the best rooms to play around here, rivaled only by the Brea Improv. But yeah, it's a great place. Hopefully one of these days, because when you do something like that, and I know for somebody who's not very big in the comedy world, that you do kind of hope, like, maybe John Lovitz will see me or something, and it'd be kind of cool for that to happen, but hasn't happened yet.
Now, how long have you been doing the stand-up comedy?
Well, I've been really giving it a solid, like, gung-ho run for the past 2 years. Actually, when I went to college, and I wasn't, planning on doing whatever my major was, and I was going to be a stand-up comic, and I was just ready to do that, and I was kind of performing, for in like parties and little open mics here and there and doing that stuff. And then I stumbled into this NFL thing because, in school, I guess they force you to pick a major, and I didn't want to pick anything that had tests. So journalism seemed easy enough for me. I'm like, it's just writing. I'm like, all right, this is perfect. So I got into that, and then being a sports fan, I stumbled onto this little startup newspaper that let me cover the Rams and the Angels, and then next thing you know, I'm, interning for the NFL, and the comedy just kind of took a back seat. But a couple of years ago, I decided it was something that I really had always wished I had done, and that, my wife had convinced me, like, look, just don't have any regrets about it. Go see what happens. And so I went out and started doing open mics again, and then started getting booked places. Not, huge places, but, grabbing stage time wherever you can, and it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, good for you. Now, have you crossed paths with any famous comedians at all when you're out there?
Yeah, you know what? One time it was kind of cool. I was at the Comedy Store, and I didn't cross paths with them, but in the green room was the sheet from the night before that had Pauly Shore's name on it. Which is, I mean, I know.
That is a brush with greatness.
But he's a famed guy in the comedy world, and
Mr. Shore. Owns all those clubs, right?
Absolutely. She owns all the comedy stores. Oh, Joe Coy. This is right. Joe Coy. I don't know if you know him. He's on Chelsea lately. He's pretty big, and everybody's like, hey, Joe Coy's here. And he was actually in the crowd, and he was, being cool to people. And he actually did come up to me, and he came up and goes, hey, I just want to let you know your stage presence is off the charts. All your material's good, and keep at it, man. I'll see you around. I'm like, holy, I was thrilled.
Nice of him. Now, who were the comedians you admired growing up?
I want to make sure I don't want to seem too inside the actor studio by naming obscure guys, but is Bobby Slayton, is that big enough of a name for you guys to recognize?
Larry?
No.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Like, no? Oh, you know what? You know whose stand-up I actually enjoyed when I was a kid? And I'm ashamed to admit it because I heard he's such a douche, or he's shown that he's such a douche. I love Jay Leno's stand-up.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought...
Ouch.
I'm not saying his Tonight Show monologues, but his stand-up... And you know what? And I don't know how you guys feel about Dennis Miller, his politics, whatever. Dennis Miller was very funny. And I will listen to Dennis Miller's radio program because there's these rare... I mean, when he's... you got to put up with a lot of his political stuff, but there's these rare moments where he'll have a old comic on with him, like Larry Miller, sometimes Jerry Seinfeld's on it, and every time they tell stories about being back in the day, every single one of them agrees. They're like, Jay Leno was the funniest guy.
Ugh.
Like, his stand-up was the best. Now, obviously, he's a huge douche, and I'd always, and you know what, when the whole, like, Leno and Conan O'Brien thing came up, I was almost teetering towards Jay Leno's side because I still had a little bit of a loyalty to him from being a kid and loving his stand-up. And Nick Bakay, who does stuff for us, was the co-host on Dennis Miller's talk show.
Yeah.
So Nick Bakay told me all the inside scoop about Jay Leno, and it pretty much shut the door. I won't even watch it.
Yeah, Leno's terrible. I like the Nick Bakay, though. He's still doing stuff there at the NFL, then?
He did stuff for us last year. I hope he's coming back soon to do more stuff with us. I know he was involved in The Zookeeper, which is coming out with Kevin James.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he used to be a producer on King of Queens, right?
Absolutely, and he was Sabrina. He's a funny guy. He did a video series with us last year called Don't Be That Guy, which was pretty funny. It turned out pretty good. I helped write that. And, that was pretty cool.
Where can we see Don't Be That Guy?
Yeah, don't be that guy. But we got to get into the movies and the TV real quick, because I saw over on your blog there, your website, www.adamrank.com, you got some of your favorite movies listed. And I'm hoping this was an accident or some sort of a typo. Well, first of all,
let's hear it. I got to hear this.
Yeah, Larry doesn't know this yet, these movies. But, first, Ocean's 11, and I pray to God you're talking the original, with Frank Sinatra.
What's wrong with the original?
The original's great.
I love the original.
Okay,
I love
so
the
this is
original.
George Clooney.
I love Robin and the Seven Hoods.
Yeah. As long as we're talking about that, you're fine. But if you're talking
but you don't
like,
George
Clooney,
you don't like
Pitt,
you didn't like the remake?
No, this is a piece of trash. No, go to the original.
Well, listen, nothing is going to match the original. I'm glad we're in agreement there. Okay. We'll shake hands.
All right.
But as far as remakes go, it didn't offend me, and I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy the remake, not as much as the original. And you know what? And the thing, and I know everybody shat on number 12 and said 12 was a terrible movie. 12 is the most like the original in that the cast didn't give a shit. They were just out there having vacation, and the movie it wasn't a classic. It was just a bunch, they were just out there having fun with their friends. And I'm like, that's the spirit of the original.
Yeah.
Nope, not buying it. All right. You're like, not buying it. All right. Fair enough.
Now this one's a good one. Here's a good choice. Cannonball Run.
Love it.
Oh, I love Cannonball Run.
Put that, listen, let me tell you, I tell anybody who listens, put that movie in. And when that Lamborghini is being chased by that police car, they start rolling through the credits. And I tell you, they put out 7 Hall of Famers, just Dean Martin, boom, Sammy Davis Jr., boom, Burt Convy, like Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. It's the greatest cast. Burt Convy, I feel that Dave could be the next Burt Convy.
Oh.
I like Burt Convy. I thought I would love to have his career.
Win, lose, or draw?
Draw.
Yeah, remember that.
It was a good one. What was the other one where they would have, the guy would be sitting at a booth and there would be like a TV screen in front of him with like somebody's face. They're in a different room. It's like Password or some tattletale.
Larry?
It does sound familiar, but I can't recall the name.
Yeah, I don't know that.
It was
I know what you're talking about, though.
Well, as long as it had Burt Convy, it had to be swell. And,
it was good.
Yeah, here's the third one on the big list here of your favorite movies, Independence Day. Really?
Oh, man.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if you watch the scene where Randy Quaid flies up into the alien ship and you don't cry, you're not human.
I'm not human.
I usually cry because I spent an hour of my life watching Randy Quaid and Will Smith. No,
that is such a great scene. The president's all exasperated. Like, doesn't anybody have any missiles left? And here comes Randy Quaid. It's me, sir, Russell Case. I told you I wouldn't let you down.
It's not even your favorite. You can quote the Independence Day.
And
he sounded just like Bill Pullman there.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been working on that one. It's a tearjerker.
Yeah, obviously. And the fourth movie on the big list, you got The Rock.
The Rock.
Oh, I like The Rock.
Really?
How do you not like The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock's great.
Really, Larry?
It's just so classic.
Connery. He's great.
The thing, because I often find myself, the scene where he's in the cell, and they're locked in the cell, and he's sitting there, and Nicolas Cage, and like I probably like Nicolas Cage more than most people, but he's sitting there and he's like, hey, it was sweet the way you got out of that generator and you rolled through the fire and that was super cool, but I don't know, how in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of your cell? I bring it up because in this particular moment it might provide useful, maybe. I like the quote. It's a quote.
Wow, you really do like The Rock, yeah. And now the last of the 5 movies you have listed, it's a recent one, and I haven't seen it. Larry, I think you may have seen this. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yes. Yeah, I need to redo the order of this list because Hot Tub Time Machine has been in heavy rotation at my house.
Wow. Now, why exactly? Is it in heavy
It's
rotation?
because it's one of the greatest movies I feel ever written.
Larry,
I
did you see
don't
it?
go out. Listen, Larry, did you see it?
I'm injured right now. I'm winded by Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah, I turned it off about a half hour in. I was like, where are the jokes?
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. I was so bored, and I was probably high too. And that's even, like if you can't laugh when you're high at something like that, like I gotta move on. There's got to be a Tosh.0 repeat or something on.
Oh, Larry, it hurts my heart to hear you say that. I found it to be funnier than The Hangover.
Oh, wow, yes, I enjoyed The Hangover. I didn't think I would, but when I watched it, I thought that was very well done. And
listen, I'm not, and I don't say that to disparage The Hangover. I found to be a fine film, but Hot Tub Time, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't old enough.
We're plenty old. Yeah, we're plenty old.
It just was so ridiculous that it was fun. Like,
I'll have to give it a whirl. I haven't seen it, so
you gotta see it. Yeah. Rob Corddry, he's fantastic in it.
Now, you don't have your favorite TV shows listed on the website, but I did.
What?
Yeah, I didn't see any favorite TV shows listed. Or do you have them?
I don't watch. You know what? I don't really watch that much TV, to be honest.
Yeah. Because I know on this past podcast you mentioned to the Dave you made a burn notice reference. Which
I do like the burn notice.
For. I got to tell you, burn notice really. But you mentioned the USA Network shows, and I do watch one show on the USA Network, and I love it. A little show I like called Psych.
Psych.
I'm
drinking out of my Psych coffee mug as we speak.
Ah, yes. Glory.
Oh my God.
That show's tremendous. Although this past season wasn't so good, I got to be honest. It wasn't their best effort. But
it wasn't quite The Mentalist, but yeah.
But the first 3 seasons of Psych.
Wait, Larry. Let me ask Larry. Larry, do you like Psych?
It's okay.
See, okay, you know what? I feel better about this because I feel a lot of the humor of Psych with the 80s references and things like that would make somebody who likes Psych like Hot Tub Time Machine. And if you're not a big Hot Tub Time Machine fan, then Psych is probably not your favorite show. And I don't fault you, Larry. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you were dogging Independence Day.
Yeah.
You can have everybody has their own. It's hard because comedy is so subjective, and I get off put by people like, how do you not find this funny? And you're like, I don't know. It's just too subjective. And I understand this obviously as a comedian, but it's still, I feel if you like Psych, you will like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Let me ask him this, because this is the definitive question here, as we can see where Adam Rank truly lies. What do you think of Dane Cook?
I will not. He gets a huge following.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
He's certainly popular.
Yeah,
I admire his rise to stardom.
Yeah, all right.
And I admire his career.
All right, well, then we agree then. Because basically you're saying he sucks. That's what you're saying.
What?
All right, we're all,
I'm just saying that he's popular. People seem to like him.
That doesn't seem to be a defining line in comedy. Like if you like Dane Cook, that's a problem. That's a red flag, I think.
But it's tough. I mean, but it's tough for me because Dane Cook is, out banging 5 models. He's going to be at the Improv. I am on my way out to a coffee shop in Long Beach to go do jokes for 5 people who will not be paying attention.
That's all right.
So,
you're living the dream.
I'm living the dream.
That's right.
That's when you know, that's when you know you're fully in. When you actually look forward like, hey, I'm going to make one of these ladies with their headphones on pay attention for 20 seconds. It's a win. And that's
going to look up from her magazine.
It's so much, you know what? And it seems like it bothered me so much when I started. Like, how dare they not listen to my genius? But no, when you get somebody who's explicitly trying not to pay attention to you laugh, then it's greater than making the entire Brea Improv explode with laughter.
That's the attitude Larry takes with his monologues. Show, right, Larry?
Listen, Mike Dell.
Yeah.
We don't need you cracking wise right now.
Well, Adam Rank, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. It's been an hour already.
I can't thank you guys, and I feel as though we just started.
Yes, there's a lot we can still talk about. But once again, the Dave Damashek Football Podcast. Now, are you guys going to be doing that every Friday? Is that when you record it, once a week?
We're going to be recording. It's supposed to be on Thursdays. We had a scheduling quirk last week, so we're going to be filming it tomorrow.
All right.
So it should be every Thursday for. Oh, you know what? I'm glad we brought this up. Thursday, we will be doing the podcast. We will have a special short edition out Sunday night after the top 100 is revealed. Dave and I are going to get together. We're going to watch the top 100.
Oh, that'll be great.
And we're going to react. Yeah, we felt like we missed the boat because that Tony Romo nonsense came out. We're like, oh, my God, what? It's too long now. I mean, we'll discuss it tomorrow, but we're like, yeah, we really need to be on this on Sunday night. We really need to be hammering this home.
That's a great idea because I know you don't want to talk bad about NFL programs anymore, but I'll tell you this. Their reaction show after the show they do, I don't enjoy it at all. Who's that little fellow, the wrestler guy, the MMA fighter?
Jay Glazer?
Oh, yeah. He just yells and screams the whole show, and it just annoys me. Can't take
I'm like, Dave's available if you guys need him. I got his number.
Yeah.
If you guys want to put him out there.
But, you and Dave talking about it, that'll be great. Yeah, I'll tune in for that. Yeah.
So we're going to do our own. We're going to do it. It'll probably only be, 10, 15 minutes, but we felt like we should be on top of it, and we wanted to do it. So we're going to go out and do that.
That's good news. Good news. And do you have any other comedy appearances you want to plug? Anything?
I don't.
To the coffee house.
I would, go. Yeah. If you're in the Long Beach area, and you're in the gay part, and this is true, it's that part. It's great. I love the crowds. Go to the library, called the library, which is, if you saw a lot of the comics, it would make sense.
I like library.
Go to the library. No, go to the library. I'll be around. I was looking at my schedule before I came on, and I'm like, God, I don't have any really good gigs to promote, so I got to get on that. I got to get an agent. Well, one other than my wife.
Yeah.
Get some better gigs. But right now, I'm writing jokes. I'm having a good time. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Adam Rank.
That's right.
I have a Facebook. If you want to get with me at /Adam Rank Comedy, which Mike, I think you're on it now.
Yeah, Larry and I both have.
Beautiful.
Right, Larry?
Great.
Yeah. And what else you got? You got the website, www.adamrank.com. And NFL.com. Go to
I guess I should plug NFL.com, yeah. The Pick Six. Pick Six. Tomorrow we will be talking about the best trophy cases.
Best trophy cases?
Which will be funny. Yeah, like who has the best, like if you've won a Heisman, if you've won a Super Bowl and it's in your trophy case and you're like, oh, that's impressive, and who would have the best one. Friday, Pick Six is going to be a video one. We pulled up some footage of players running into cameramen and cheerleaders. And at first I didn't think it was going to be funny. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, this is great. I can't get enough of this.
Hey, if you want to see some funny video of someone running, look at your buddy the Dave running the 40-yard dash. You ever see that?
I've seen that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, give our best to Dave. Tell him we said hey. And Rank, hopefully you'll come back on the show at some point in the future. And next time we'll have a top 11 list. Maybe we'll have a topic and we'll get into it.
We'll do one. Yeah. Let's make it happen. Let's schedule it right now. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't burn too big of a bridge and you'll let me back. But this was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you making time for us. So there he is, Adam Rank, NFL.com. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Mike, Larry, I appreciate it.
All right, see ya.
Adam Rank. How about that? What a nice fella.
Yeah, very nice.
And once again, go to NFL.com. You can see his blogs over there in the Pick Six column, where he does a little list of 6, kind of like he was saying, top 11. And I got to see the Hot Top Time Machine, Larry. If he's liking it and you're hating it, I need to cast the deciding vote.
It's terrible. You'll hate it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna hate it.
Now, Larry, should we talk hockey? Because it is the second hour. Should we talk hockey? We're not going to talk hockey at all?
No. God.
Well, should we call our buddy the Ed? Because let's remind everybody, our pal the Ed, Ed Miller, Ed from Vegas, he retired from life. Remember, Larry?
Yeah, he retired from life.
He says he's no longer going to call our show. He's no longer going to host his own podcast. And I think he's legit. Like, I think he's legitimately retired. He's done.
No.
And if you go to the LCS Hockey Show page over at Blog Talk, you'll see that I put up a new logo for us.
I saw that.
Do you like do you like the logo, Larry?
It looks fantastic. You got Rachel Cook on there. You got John Bender on there.
Yeah, I put in those for you, and I got Tina Fey and Kurt Cobain for me, and then we got some other TV people and movie people, and Badaboom right in the middle welcoming everybody with his arms raised. Yeah, so no more Ed. You can't find the Ed anywhere on the site because he's retired. He's done. It's over.
That's what he says. Now, you talk to him more than most people do, so you're really buying he's retired.
He tells me he's still retired. I don't even talk to him. He used to call me like 3 or 4 times a day because that's just the Ed. You know, that's what he does. He just sits around and he calls people. But since his retirement, I've probably spoken to him maybe 3 times.
Really?
In a week. Yeah. It's really fallen off.
Well, I'm not buying any of this shit because the Ed loves to talk.
All right, well, let's try calling the Ed, and we'll see if we can get him on the line. Maybe talk to him. Usually he picks up by now.
Ed!
Ed! Are you there? That sounds like the Ed, Larry.
It does sound like the Ed. And he's gone.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I told you, he's retired.
Huh. How about that, Mike, though? Well, that doesn't mean anything. He probably didn't even know we called. Should we call back?
No.
I don't want to harass him. He gets scared.
Yeah, we don't want to harass him. But tomorrow night will be the first night without the Ed Show. You know, tomorrow night, 10:30. Usually the Ed Show's on, but not tomorrow night.
What are you planning on doing, Mike, though? Anything to celebrate?
Yeah, and this is what sucks, because usually Thursday nights we got to do the Ed Show, and 30 Rock's on at 10 o'clock. You know, so in my preparations for the show, you know, my extensive preparations, I usually miss, like, the last 2 minutes of 30 Rock, you know?
All right.
But now I have Thursday nights free, and 30 Rock ended last week.
How ironic.
Yeah, it's a real kick in the pants. So what am I going to do now, Thursday nights?
Hey, the Ed's back.
Oh, the Ed's back. He called in.
That's what it's showing on my switchboard here.
All right, well, we'll put him on. I guess his retirement's over.
Ed!
Ed! Guess he just called back in to cough. That's all.
Huh, all right.
All we need to just do there, all right? Well, there it is. The Ed retirement, it looks like it's going to happen, Larry.
I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see in about a day.
So if you missed last week's The Ed Show, that was the final one. Dick Banks was on. The Dave was on. It was a 2-hour extravaganza.
Yeah, Franklin.
Oh, yeah, Franklin. I forgot.
Yeah, Franklin was on. Yeah, it was a great show last week. Dave thought I was on.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't even realize you were there.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, and I should mention, Zippy, when Zippy heard that the Ed retired, Zippy sent me an email and goes, I guess we don't need to make the Ed apps anymore. And I'm like, no. Go full steam ahead with the Ed apps, because the Ed needs to be remembered, you know?
Yeah.
The apps will act like a testament to his life, and it'll be his legacy to the world, you know?
Yeah, why not?
So the Ed apps are still in production. And,
nice.
They'll be coming
I
out.
still have nothing to open an Ed app with, but it's good to know if somebody else could.
And Matthew sent me this stuff to put up so we can have a web version of it, and I just forgot, so I haven't done it. But yeah. Anyway, so keep an eye out for the Ed apps, and God bless the Ed in his retirement. Hopefully it's fruitful. All right, Larry, what else we got planned? Maybe we should have kept Ranker on for another hour, because I got to tell you, I got nothing.
Well, you know, yeah, I don't know. You pushed him out the door. He seemed like he was having fun.
Well, I just feel bad because we kept him an hour already. I don't like to keep people more than an hour because it's like, you know, it's a pain in the ass for him, probably. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But he seemed like he was having fun.
Yeah.
We were getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Independence Day, though?
Yeah.
That's no good, is it?
I've never seen it. You know.
Hey, wait, your old man's on the phone.
Oh no, here he goes. The old man.
5-0.
Did you have
I
theme
can't-
music?
I can't, it's gone.
Block talk.
All right.
Well, we got a story to tell maybe from my old man. All right. Father!
Hey,
What are you doing?
talking to you.
Yeah, I know that. Are you trying to take over the Ed spot? Is that what this is?
Oh, I can never take over the Ed spot.
No, of course not. You know the Ed retired.
That's what I heard. I was listening to you guys.
Are you broken up about that?
Yeah, I missed the Ed.
Yeah, that's right. But it's good that you called, Father. First of all, Larry, you remember last week at the end of the show? Well, I don't think I mentioned it on the show, but in the last 10 minutes, I was distracted because I could hear a noise coming from the wall of our apartment. We live in the basement apartment of a house. And after the show, I told you, I think I hear an animal inside the walls of our house. Remember that, Larry?
Yeah, bird. Yeah.
And the Ed even made reference to it in his last show. And so the whole week, the wife and I we're trying to get, and it's a big long story. We rent, and the walls of our apartment, Larry, you've seen them. They're covered in like wood paneling. And it's not just wood. It's like this house was built in the early 1900s, and this wood is from Bolivia. It's like really thick. It's not some joke. It's really thick, and we can't cut into it. Basically, is what I'm saying, because can't replace it. And it sounded like the noise was coming behind our fireplace. So we tried to dig a little hole in the floorboards, and we're doing chisels and getting through bricks and masonry and all kind of crap, and we can't find this stinking animal. Yet we keep hearing it, and we think it's a bird because it sounds like it's chirping. But here, just a couple days ago, it turns out it was a cat.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a little cat. And 5-0, my father and my mother, they adopted the kitty. They adopted him.
That's nice.
Yeah. So Father, is that why you're calling to talk about the cat?
Well, Harry's doing fine. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
Is he a kitten, or is he like a full-size cat, or how?
No, he's a little kitten. He's about 4 weeks old.
Yeah, he's wee tiny.
Weighs 1 pound.
Yeah.
Has he been to the vet?
Yes, today.
They just took him to the vet today. Yeah.
Nice. Look at that, Harry.
Yeah. So last couple
That's
nights I've been feeding this little kitty like a baby. I had a milk bottle, and I was like giving him formula, and yeah, I was like a dad.
Does he suck at your teat?
Pretty much, yeah. You got to feed him every 3 or 4 hours from a bottle. It's crazy. So, but Father, it's good that you called, not because of the cat necessarily, because I don't know how many people want to hear about a cat, but you did see a movie, right?
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Tell Larry what movie you saw.
Saw Thor.
Oh, Thor. Yeah. Now, how was Thor?
Very good.
Really?
See? Look at
Yes.
that, Larry. Larry's been saying it's going to stink, and you're saying it's just going to be horrible and all this stuff. And here 5-0 just saw it, and he loves it. Go ahead, tell him all about it.
Yeah, I saw it in 2D. Didn't see it in 3D. It'd probably be better in 3D.
I didn't even know it was out in 3D.
It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I put it right up there with Iron Man.
How about that, Larry? Right up there with Iron Man.
Huh. Now, what about that Green Lantern? You got any interest in seeing the Green Lantern?
I haven't seen the Green Lantern. I'll wait till that comes on freebie. I don't want to spend money on that one.
Yeah, Green Lantern.
I'm not crazy about the one guy in it.
Oh, the Ryan Reynolds?
That might be the one.
Yeah, that might be the one. But the Thor. So what about the Thor did you like?
We just liked everything. Liked the storyline. Liked the special effects were great.
Yeah. And Natalie Portman. How's Natalie Portman?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right up there with Tina Fey.
Right up there with Tina Fey. That's right. That's right.
Ay. Runs in the family.
But Thor looks pretty good, Larry.
And your mother did like the Thor.
Yeah, he's a big, handsome fellow. That Thor.
Yeah, well, yeah, your mother did like him.
And Larry, if you've noticed on Rotten Tomatoes and everywhere, Thor's getting good reviews.
Yeah, I saw that. I just was never a Thor guy growing up. Like, I just didn't get into the whole Thor comic.
Yeah, it's more like if you're into the fantasy and kind of
yeah.
stuff. But
kind of gay to me. A little gay.
I kind of like the hammer. You know, he's got that big hammer.
A little gay. It's like a big penis.
That's not what it's like at all. That's not what it's like at all, no. But so, Thor, what other movies have you seen lately, 5-0? Anything?
Oh, God. I can't remember them. Hell, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah,
you know.
You and the mother, you guys go to movies pretty much every week.
Yeah, there's a bunch coming up, too. Pirates of the Caribbean 4 starting this weekend.
That looks terrible. It's terrible.
Let's see, what else? There's a couple other ones that are coming out this weekend that look pretty good, too.
The Hangover?
Oh, yeah, the
Hangover Part 2, yeah, saw Hangover Part 1, loved it.
Yeah, that's right, you loved it. Now, did you see Hot Tub Time Machine?
No, had no desire to see it, but I hear your guest loved it.
Yeah, he's a big fan of it, so maybe we'll have to check it out. I don't know. So
Well, see, I don't like the Psych, though, so I may not like the Time Machine.
You watch Psych?
No, I don't watch Psych.
but how do you know you don't like it?
I said I didn't like the Psych.
But how do you know you don't if you've never watched it?
I've seen it once or twice. I just can't get into it.
Yeah.
Just like I like Tom Selleck in his Jesse Stone movies, but I don't like him in Blue Blood.
Yeah, that Blue Blood, that's terrible.
I can't get into it.
That looks just awful, Blue Blood. Though I heard it got picked up for another season. Apparently it's a big hit.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But he has a new Jesse Stone movie coming out this Sunday.
Huh. I know Larry will set the TiVo for that. You excited, Larry?
Who the hell is Jesse Stone?
Yeah, I don't know either, but apparently the old man really likes him, so they gotta. Yeah, who's Jesse Stone? Is that a detective?
Tom Selleck plays a policeman from the West Coast. I think it's Los Angeles. That got fed up and came east and become a chief in a small New England town outside of Boston.
And that's basically your dream,
exposure.
right? You want to just become the chief of a small town as well.
My dream?
Yeah, right?
No, I got my dream.
Yeah, he's got a cat.
Yeah, Harry.
No, I got my dream job, too.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, what else, Father? Anything else you'd like to tell us?
No, nothing else other than that old Harry's sleeping away in there.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
I'm going to have to wake his ass up so he don't keep me up all night.
Yeah. And, well, take good care of Harry. And tell people, go watch the Thor, right? You recommend the Thor.
I would recommend the Thor.
So there you go. From 5-0 himself.
You'll like it, Larry.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
Give it a go and let me know if you like it.
I will do that.
All right, Father. I'll be
all
in
right.
touch.
See you later.
There he goes, the old man.
5-0.
Yeah, because he went and he saw Thor. And I was like, oh, that'll be something.
That's kind of weird.
Well, why is it weird that he saw Thor?
I don't know. That's more like, the 14 to 18-year-old crowd.
So, but would you say the same thing about Iron Man and stuff? Like, is that the same 14 to 18-year-old crowd?
Yeah.
Really? Spider-Man? So is it weird that you, waited in line to see Spider-Man the first day it came out? Is that weird?
I know one thing. When this final Harry Potter movie comes out, rest assured, I will be in there by myself watching that thing.
I don't get the Harry Potter thing. None of those movies, they're always so dark. So, do they ever have a lighting guy on the set when they film those things?
They're supposed to be dark.
I know, but help me out. Give me some more set, light there on the set. I don't know.
It's supposed to be like that.
That's so good. All right, Larry. So the cat. Yeah, I still hear cats. Apparently, a mother cat had kittens up under the front porch of her house, and this guy here, the Harry, he somehow found the way to get into the wall, and he just fell down through, and we were able to get him out of the wall. But it was days. It took days, We were giving up. We thought it was a bird. We're like, well, if that bird got in there, it's evolution, He needs to be smarter than that. But eventually the little cat just fell out through a hole.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now look at that. You think that cat knew, hey, I'm going to go for it here. Maybe I'll get adopted. The rest of you suckers can lay up here.
Yeah, because his other brothers, we hear him still chirping up there under the porch. But we can't get him out. I tried calling the Humane Society, and they apparently want nothing to do. They gave me the hi-hat, Larry. They won't even respond to me. So
really?
I don't know what to do with them. But I figure as long as their mother's up there, they're okay. She'll take care of them and feed them and whatnot. But I don't know. Eventually we're going to have to get him out of there. We left the hole in the wall open because apparently, every couple of days now, probably another cat will fall through the hole. So, Larry, you want a cat?
No, I do not.
Yeah,
I do not.
So what can you do?
It's like a living gumball machine over there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Little hairy gumballs falling out of the wall every
so that's what,
week.
But it was crazy. The wife and I, we were basically, it's like breaking out of Alcatraz. We were there with chisels and a hammer hitting this masonry we would take shifts. We'd work in shifts, Larry. And we were just exhausted. All day Friday and Saturday, we're digging in this damn wall trying to get this bird out of there. And here it's a cat,
Huh. That's pretty cool, though. Look at you. You're like a...
And I don't even think he was trapped in the wall. I just think we could hear him because he was up under the porch and the rafters and stuff. And then it just happened that last day when we were giving up, there's nothing we can do, because we can't tear apart, our landlord's not going to let us tear apart the fireplace and the wall and everything. And when we'd given up, then I think he actually got in the hole and fell down.
Huh.
Which is weird. But yeah, he hit the lottery because 5-0. he's swooning over the little cat, you know. And my mother, she loves the little cat now. So that cat hit the jackpot.
Yeah,
I'll get home, and his brothers are screwed. So what can you do?
Yeah, they're effed.
So anyway, Larry, that's my week. I've just been taking care of a little cat and doing other nonsense. What have you been doing, Larry? Did you see any movies?
You know, I saw the Scott Pilgrim movie.
Oh yeah. No, our buddy cousin Brandon, he loved it. He was the first to see it of us, and he enjoyed it so much. He said it was one of the best movies of the year, and he raved about it. And then I saw it, and I really enjoyed it as well. I think I ended up giving it a 9 out of 10. And then, so you just saw the Scott Pilgrim. Give the people your take on it.
I loved it. I thought it was great. Now, do you think it's odd that I've seen it 3 times?
No.
Today?
Oh, yeah, that's a little odd, probably.
Yeah, I watched it 3 times today.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's a good fallback movie. I don't know. It's fun. It's kind of cute. It's like a video game mixed with a comic book mixed with like I don't know, Kill Bill. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it's like.
It's good.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's a cool movie. I don't even know how to explain it to you. It would sound corny if I tried to tell you what it was, but it's kind of like it's a fantasy movie, and it's kind of like dreamlike, hypnotic, kind of surreal kind of feel. There's all these weird scenes where he's in these weird dreamlike sequences. But basically, he ends up falling for a girl, and in order to, pursue this relationship with her, he has to fight her 7 evil exes. And it has to defeat them along the way in order to win her and win the girl at the end. But it's all kind of set up like a video game.
Who is the girl in that movie?
Her real name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even remember either. But I was a big fan because, why, Larry? Why was I a big fan?
Because at the beginning she has, like, red hair.
Yeah.
And then in the middle she goes to, like, blue hair, and then at the end she has green hair.
Yeah, I just love the ladies with the crazy colored hair.
And she has a look about her, like a little innocent girl next door kind of look with
like
her
12,
eyes.
Larry. She's very young.
No, she's not 12, dude.
Yeah.
I think she was like, I think she's 16? Like 26, 27.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Here, I'll look her up right now.
Larry likes them young, everybody. Can't live near a school. You know what I'm saying?
But, the Scott Pilgrim, oh, my God, it's just so good. Just so good. And this girl's name is Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay.
And she was born in 1984.
Wow, so holy hell, that's 27.
Yeah, 27. So, dude.
Yeah.
Get off my junk. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so no other new movies or anything? Nothing?
Yeah,
because I haven't really seen anything. What about TV, Larry? Any TV to talk about?
Not really, no. Did you watch, like, the season premiere or whatever of Tosh again last night?
No.
It wasn't that good. It really wasn't. He had the Chocolate Rain guy on. Remember Chocolate Rain?
Oh, yeah, Chocolate Rain, yeah.
Yeah, he had that guy on. And, his new look for the season is exposed arms. That's the summer look. He's wearing tank tops now, so, I don't know. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, I'm souring on the Tosh.0. The last show he did before the break was just terrible. And now it could be, I don't know, maybe it's over.
Yeah,
Larry.
it could have ruined it. He could have ruined it in one show. I hear you. I'm not as excited about the Tosh as I used to be.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really. I haven't been watching too much.
Yeah, I mentioned 30 Rock season finale last week. Yeah, not so good. Not their best work.
Yeah. What do you want?
Wasn't so good. What else? The Office. You've been watching The Office with
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good last week. Dwight taking over. And,
yeah, that was decent. And then he ends up almost shooting Andy in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was all right. It was decent, I guess.
I guess this week is the big hour long Jim Carrey and James Spader.
Yeah. All the schmucks. Yeah, exactly.
What else? I don't know. Community. You don't watch the Community, right?
Nah, I don't watch Community. I don't watch the Community.
Parks and Recreations. Don't watch that.
No. I watch, I'm trying to see if I got anything on my TiVo that I taped. Not really.
Yeah, we didn't really plan this tonight's show, really.
No, but we could do trivia. I got trivia.
Yes, we do have a bit. I was trying to stall until we got there. Because, as we know, Larry, I am a TV scholar.
Well, that's what you say.
Yeah. Well, before I get into that, here, play a little. I did a little intro. I don't even know. I was going to try and make up a theme for this bit, but I really didn't have a full theme. But I have a little intro, kind of. Go ahead and play that.
What's it called?
TV Scholar Intro.
Oh, TV Scholar Intro. All right. Oh, there it is. All right, look at you. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind attention and permission, I have the honor of presenting to you one of the most remarkable men in the world. Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts and remembers every one of them.
Right. Like you, Larry. 50 facts a day. I memorize them, commit them to memory, and I never forget them. And all of the facts are about TV.
So, as you've made mention on this show many, many, many times, you are a TV scholar.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, from the time I was 16 until about, 26, I did nothing but watch classic TV every night because I barely left the house, Larry. And Nick at Night, I was raised on Nick at Night. I loved it. Back in the heyday, Nick at Night now is a piece of trash. It's terrible. But back in the day, it was great. It had Mr. Ed, Get Smart, F Troop, Donna Reed, Patty Duke, Dick Van Dyke, Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore, all the greats. Fernwood Tonight. Those were TV shows, you know. Toby Gillis, the Monsters, you know, that kind of stuff. So those shows are in my wheelhouse. And of course, Cheers and stuff like that. I'm still up on the Cheers, but I got to tell you, I haven't watched TV in like the last 10 years or so, you know, like religiously like I used to. So I may not be the television scholar I used to be, but I'm still a television scholar.
Right.
You understand?
I suppose.
And you're not getting anything by me in terms of Cheers, Get Smart, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, Taxi. None of my core shows. You're not getting anything by me. I'm still up on those, you know, because they're ingrained in my memory. Right. They're in my marrow, you know. You cut me out Taxi. You understand?
Huh. See, I thought you bled Marvel if we cut you.
That's right. Well, it depends which arm. You know, you cut the arm. All right. So with that in mind, you're now going to test me with some TV trivia. Yeah.
Now, what happened was about a month ago, they opened a new Goodwill Center right up the road from us.
How do you feel about the Goodwill? I'm a big fan of the Goodwill.
Yeah, it was nice in there. It's nice.
The only 2 suit coats I've ever owned in my life I've purchased from the Goodwill.
Yeah, I mean, they got, like, if you go in there, they have, like, Ralph Lauren and all that kind of stuff in there.
Well, I don't want that kind of crap. I want beat-up clothes that it looks like lumberjacks have worn.
Yeah, see, see, that's what I have now.
Oh.
And I like to get other things that doesn't look like it's 4 years old and probably is. But, so anyways, we went up to the...
Wait, Larry, sorry, another important question. If you buy something from the Goodwill, do you take it home and wash it?
Oh, yeah.
Now why? You buy new clothes from a store.
Because that's used.
But they wash everything.
You don't know that.
Well, all right.
How do you know for, like, that shirt just like, I forgot to throw this in, I'll just throw it on a hanger. You don't know that they're washing everything. Anyways, when I was at the store, I was perusing, like, they got a little toy section in the back. They had Nick at Night, the board game.
Oh, Nick at Night, the board game.
Yeah.
Look out.
So it's basically just trivia questions. I don't even know how to play it. I've never really even looked at it. There's some kind of little board in there, and there's like little set pieces and food, and I don't know what you got to do with the Nick at Night game, but there's a shitload of trivia questions in there. So,
well, I should say off the top too. I'm not into like who produced or directed or like actors' names and stuff. That's really not the kind of trivia I'm into. I'm more like script-related stuff, like lines from the show, plot points, that kind of stuff. Like I have obscure trivia knowledge like that. All right, but go ahead.
Here we go. Already setting himself up.
That's exactly right. You got to set the bar low.
Yeah. Now here we go. We got the Nick at Night board game, Mike Dell. And since you're a TV scholar, particularly Nick at Night, there's no reason that you shouldn't go 15 for 15 on here.
You think I would go, oh, that's kind of ridiculous, think it'll be perfect, right? I mean, well, what would be a good score? What would be an acceptable score? 12? 12 out of 15?
I won't accept anything less than 13.
Wow.
If you're really a scholar, especially if this was just general TV knowledge. These are Nick at Night TV shows.
But when was this game made?
Well, it's made. There's nothing like. There's no Roseanne questions on here.
All right, that's what I want to know. Because if it's Roseanne and that crap, then I'm not going to know it. You know.
No.
All right.
These should all be right in your wheelhouse. Shows that you claim to have watched at one point, love, don't love, whatever, but you're aware of. So there's 15 questions, Mike Dell. Each question relates to a different show. So if you're really as well-rounded scholar as you say you are, you should know all of these then. These are all 15 shows that have appeared on Nick at Night at some point, I guess.
I'm excited about this, yeah. Because, you know, when I married the wife, I married the A-. Of course, got her ring and whatever. But when I was serious, what I gave her was my Mary Tyler Moore Merit Badge. It's a badge I won from Nick at Night for knowing a lot of Mary Tyler Moore trivia. They gave me a little badge, and that's when I knew that she was the one. I was like, all right, A-, here you go, my Mary Tyler Moore Merit Badge.
Now, are you going to get that back if you divorce?
I should hope so. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got that on record. All right, Mike Dow. Now, as you know, I'm not a big Nick at Night fan. I don't know a lot of this stuff, so I don't know if these are hard or not. To me, they seem like they might be challenging, but I don't know. So I thought maybe this one was easy, so we'll start you off easy. Where were disobedient prisoners sent on Hogan's Heroes? The cooler, right? Oh, that is correct. The cooler. Yeah. All right, he's on the board. One.
I was a big Hogan's Heroes fan. I don't even remember it being on Nick at Night, actually. I used to watch it all the time in the afternoons. But, yeah, I guess it was on Nick at Night at some point then. All right.
I would imagine. Yeah. Okay, question 2. In the final season of Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley, not my best. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
No, TV scholar. Well,
I don't like Laverne and Shirley, but all right, go ahead.
Hey, you're a TV scholar. Shirley got married. What was the groom's name and occupation?
I have no idea. If you give me multiple choices, I could probably figure it out. Was he some kind of a doctor?
Yeah.
See, that counts. I get half. Right?
Okay.
And did his name kind of rhyme with Shirley Feeney almost?
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad, right?
All right, we'll give it to you. Close enough. Dr. Walter Meany.
Yeah, see, I knew the vague...
Army medic.
Yeah. All right.
There was a poster on Keith's unlikely musical idol on display in his bedroom on the Partridge Family. Who was this idol's idol?
Oh, my goodness. See, that's a great question. And that's exactly the kind of question I pride myself on knowing. Like obscure setting things like you'd see on the walls. But, Keith Partridge's music icon. Now, they say it's an unusual choice, correct?
It says Keith's unlikely musical idol. I wouldn't let that... Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
Is it a classic musician?
Yeah. Classic.
By classic, I mean classical music.
Oh, no, it is not.
Well, then, I don't know. Unusual, it can't be. I'm trying to think of the time period of the Partridge Family, early 70s, right? Or mid-70s. So it had to be, couldn't have been Elvis. This is a tough one. I'll go Chuck Berry.
Ooh, no. We were looking for Jimi Hendrix.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, Jimmy. All right. So we're 2-1 right now, Mike Dow. 2-1. All right, here we go. Question number 4 here. Dobie was the second assistant editor of the school newspaper on Dobie Gillis. What was the name of the paper?
Oh, that hurts me. Because Dovey Gillis, I love Dovey Gillis, you know?
I know you do. I figured this was like a slam dunk here. Like, oh, come on, Larry, it's blah, 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 blah.
I can't even, no, is this, is this school paper, is this high school or college? Because the show he started when he was in high school, and then he followed him into college.
It says Dobie was the second assistant editor of the school newspaper.
I'm guessing this would be the college years. And
I didn't know there was a college. What like Saved by the Bell?
No, I can't. Shoot, I can't think of what even the name of the college was. No. That's Peter Pryor, right? Is that the name of the school?
I have no idea. I would say you're close, though.
Yeah. Is Peter Pryor in there somewhere?
Yeah, Pryor's in there.
Yeah. All right. The Pryor Gazette. I don't know.
Ooh, we were looking for the Pryor Crier.
Ah, son of a bitch.
The Pryor Crier.
But how about that? I pulled out the school name, you know?
Yeah, I got to give you a wrong on that, though.
All right.
Well,
this isn't going so well.
Well, you're 2-2. All right, question 5, Mike Dell. What was the TV show within a TV show which Sally Rogers sometimes appeared on, the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Oh, this hurts as well.
What are you doing, Mike Dell? Well, if it's about Dick Van Dyke...
Is it Stevie Parsons? No. Shoot. It was like a Tonight Show ripoff. She would be a guest on it. And one time she was trying to find a husband. And, oh, shoot. Yeah, again, multiple choice would have really helped. I got to tell you.
Yeah. All right, well, you got it anyway, so.
Oh, Stevie Parsons is right?
Yeah, the Stevie Parsons Show, yeah.
So there you go.
Wow, I thought you would have been, I thought that would have been a home run for you.
But you got to realize, I haven't seen Dovey Gillis or Dick Van Dyke in like 10 years. No exaggeration. So.
Well, I hear you, but these are ingrained into your memories.
Well, I got it right.
About 5 minutes ago, yeah.
I got it right.
So. I hear you. All right. Well, maybe this question, maybe, I don't know. This isn't a plot line. This is a who played character kind of question, but deal with it. Ellen Travolta played the mom on both Charles in Charge and Joni Loves Chachi. Which Sweat Hog's mother did she portray on Welcome Back, Carter?
Horseshack?
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
Horseshack. Look at you. All right, so you got 4. 4 and 2, Mike Dell, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
4, yeah, that's right, 4 and 2. All right, here we go, Mike Dell. Question 7. Who was the voice of Orson, Mork's boss, on Mork and Mindy?
The voice of Orson.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't know. I know I'm going to know it when I hear it, but again,
Ralph
multiple choice.
James?
Who?
Ralph James?
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have known that. I have no idea who Ralph James is.
I don't either, but all right.
I wouldn't have been able to pick that out of a lineup at all. So,
yeah. What was Major Nelson's childhood nickname on I Dream of Jeannie?
Oh, good Lord. Again, not one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Ooh, we were looking for Bunky. Bunky. Yeah.
Bunky.
All right, here we go. What was handsome movie star Dash Riprock's, quote, real name on the Beverly Hillbillies?
Again, I never watched Beverly Hillbillies, so.
Oh, my God.
Dash Riprock. I have no idea.
We were looking for Homer Noodleman.
Yeah. Well, this isn't going well at all.
No. We still got like 5 questions. You want them?
Yeah, I just got to finish above 500. I got to be the Pirates at least.
Because right now you're 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Which Puerto Rican nun had trouble with her English on The Flying Nun?
I've never seen an episode of Flying Nun.
Hey, it's Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Nick at Night. Nick at Night. All right, we were looking for Sister Sixto. Sister Sixto.
All right.
All right, Mike Dell, what was the name of the elementary school where Emily Hartley taught on the Bob Newhart Show?
Gosh dang it. Yeah, I should know that one, but yeah, I don't know. Unless you give me a hint, I'm not gonna know.
It's a girl's first name.
Yeah.
Does that
A
help?
girl's first name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tracy Grammar School. Tracy Grammar School. Yelch, Mike Dell, what is going on? I think,
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Maude.
I never
Any
saw an
idea-
episode of Maude. I don't watch
Really? All right,
Don't
do you want
watch
me to
it.
just skip it?
Maude. Yeah.
All right, skip Maude. You watch The Honeymooners?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ralph Crandon's best friend on The Honeymooners was Ed L. Norton. What did the L in Norton's name stand for?
Oh, my goodness. Is it something goofy?
Yeah.
I know the G in Maynard G. Krebs stood for Warren.
I had to only ask that question.
Is it the same kind of bit? Like just a completely...
No, it actually, the name stands for, it says it was Norton's mother's maiden name.
Edward... I don't know.
Lily White.
Lily White. See, that's a good question. That is a good question.
Lily White. Lily White. How about this? On the pilot of the Brady Bunch, a Brady dog and cat were part of the marital mix. What was the name of the cat?
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Snowball.
Oh, that's a good answer. That's a good shot, but it's actually Fluffy. It was Fluffy.
Yeah.
And I got one more question, Mike Dell. What is the address of Control on Get Smart?
Oh, it hurts. How can I not know a Get Smart question? The address of Control.
Yep. The only clue it says on the back, the only secret organization in the telephone directory.
Yeah, I don't know.
We were looking for 123 Main Street, Washington, D.C. Yeah.
Never would have known it. So what, I was 4 and 11? Is that all right?
Yeah, you went about 4 and 11. Maybe
That's not so good. I would have got the Bob Newhart one if it was multiple choice. I would have picked out Tracy, but I can't remember. The one that hurt me is the Get Smart one. Although I can never recall them ever saying 123 Main Street, but yeah, I'm sure they did. I don't know. What's the other one that hurt? Dobie Gillis. Well, I kind of got that right. But
yeah, the prior crier. Yeah. So we'll give you 5. We'll give you 5 out of 15. Hey, that's 30.
But again, I've never claimed when I got my TV scholarship. I majored in certain shows, and then I didn't even discuss others. So
Right. So you majored in 3 TV shows.
No. I majored in about 100. But it's just you happen to pick 5 that I never even saw. Maude, Flying Nun.
Yeah.
Like, frankly, I don't want to be a TV scholar if I have to know about the Flying Nun. That's just me. But
no, listen. I'm not a TV scholar. I never claimed to be a TV scholar. But do you think I know where Roseanne lives? You bet I do. 714 Delaware Street.
Sure you do.
You don't know where your hero Maxwell Smart lives or works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Huh. Look at you. So.
But I know the bank account number when Laura Petrie was holding a secret bank account from Rob Petrie, and because she wanted to have a little money of her own. I know the bank account number. I know stuff like that.
What is it?
6565696.
You could have made that up. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Could have made that up.
Yeah.
So what else is going on, Mike Dell? We got 15
I don't know.
minutes.
I'm just heartbroken now that I've lost. I was humiliated in TV trivia.
Mm-hmm. Destroyed.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah, I got nothing, Larry. I didn't even prepare a conspiracy segment tonight. Nothing.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're done then.
I'm very busy. Yeah, you just want to call it a night?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. All right, well, we got to thank Adam Rank.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. Next time we get Adam Rank on, we'll have a top 11 list of movie themes or something, and we'll break it down with Adam Rank. You know.
Movie themes?
Or just something like a movie-themed list. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, movie-themed.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And weren't you supposed to have your big Rotten Tomatoes movie trivia game ready at some point?
I forgot about it, but yeah.
Yeah, what happened there?
I forgot about it. I'm very busy, too.
You're too busy buying Nick and Night trivia games to embarrass me.
$1 I spent on that.
Yeah.
It was worth $1 shekel for sure. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, so thanks, Adam Rank. Oh, thanks for the Ed, for coughing into the phone.
Let everybody know he still has that cough he's
Yep.
had for about 3 years.
And next week we'll have all sorts of monkey shine. And we've got to talk hockey, though, Larry. Why don't we talk hockey in the final 10 minutes?
Oh. It was so close.
All right, yeah.
All right.
No, we don't have to talk hockey.
You want to talk hockey? We could talk hockey.
No, I haven't even been watching the games. Although I
haven't
saw
either.
the Tyler Seguin kid. He was something last night. Did you see him?
No.
Yeah, he scored some sweet goals there. He got like 5
I
points
saw
in the game.
It was a 6-5 final or something last night.
Yeah, the last I saw was 6-3, and then I turned back later and 6-5.
Wow. What's going on in the other one? Was it San Jose?
Well, Game 2's tonight. Vancouver won Game 1, 3-2. San Jose had the lead, and they blew it in the third. They just ran out of gas. They're very tired. So I'm looking for a better effort tonight, though. They started playing an hour or so ago, 2 hours ago, so who knows.
Let me see. I'll tell you what the score is. It's 3-2 with 5:52 to go in the second. Vancouver.
Vancouver's up. Wow. All right.
Yeah. Look at that, huh?
Yeah. So
Thornton choking again?
looks that way. Now, last year, the Sharks, they made it to the conference finals, and they got swept. So if the same thing happens again this year, what do you do?
Who went last year?
Well, what's that?
The Red Wings? Was it the Red Wings last year?
The Blackhawks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks.
So if you're the Sharks, and you thought, we finally we came through, we almost choked there in the second round, blowing the 3-0 lead to the Red Wings, but we held on, we come out of it, we're back to the conference finals, now we take the next step to get to the Stanley Cup finals, but if you get, swept out again, that'll just be terrible. You got to cut bait, right? You got to finally get rid of Thornton and Marlowe, right?
You would think so, yeah. Things aren't working.
Yeah, you got to start over. And, hey, Larry, what about the tales of Jaromir Jagr coming back to Pittsburgh?
I don't know if those are. I don't know who started that thing. I heard about that yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's all jive. I think.
Do you want him back? I mean, he's 40 almost.
I would love to see him because he's Jaromir Jagr, and it would be great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is Kid Crosby's team. We don't.
Right.
We don't need hanger-ons. And Jagr would not play anything close to a Bausma system as far as the aggressive forecheck and the back checking and stuff. So I think it's time to just cut bait. But if Jagr really truly wants to come back and he's willing to play for like a league minimum or whatever, all right, that's great. Welcome back.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. I think this is all just a bunch of smoke screen just to get the Russian team to pony up some more money.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, I'd like to see Jagr back, but do we need like a Kovalev part 2?
Yeah.
Like Kovalev was great like the first couple games, but then like as the games went on, you're like kind of like, all right, it's not there anymore. Sporadically you see some something magnificent, but most of the time he's he's pretty average.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way Jagr would be. Like, you'd see those glimmers of brilliance once in a blue moon, but for the most part, he's just an average guy now.
I think they. What do you think about them retiring his number? Do you think they'll ever retire Jagr's number?
Who, Jagr's?
Yeah.
They should.
I think they should, too. Who's going to wear 68 anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. That's a stupid number, yeah.
Like, who's the last guy to wear 68 besides Jagr? I think Ziggy Palffy wore it for one season, right, in the early days with the Islanders. And,
really? No,
I think his rookie year he wore 68, and then he switched to 16. But yeah, that's one of those numbers that no one's going to wear anyway because they don't want to be compared to Jagr. So.
Yeah, that's such a weird number, though.
Yeah.
Didn't it have something to do with his folks?
The Czech Republic, yeah, the revolution there in Czechoslovakia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Goodness.
yeah. So what else? Other hockey news. It looks like now it looks like the Atlanta Thrashers, our buddy Frenchie, his beloved team, the Thrashers, might be going to Winnipeg. All along,
Really?
it was always Phoenix going to Winnipeg, Phoenix going to Winnipeg, and that went by the boards. But now, no one's even talking about Atlanta might be moving by the next season, and Atlanta could go to Winnipeg.
Huh. I think Frenchie would be crushed.
And if Atlanta goes to Winnipeg, that means the conferences will get all screwed up, because Atlanta will go out west, and a western team will have to come east, and the two leading candidates, Larry, are Detroit or Columbus. So we could either have, I'm guessing Columbus will come east, but what about Detroit? Wouldn't it be nice having the Red Wings and the Penguins in the same conference?
Nah, you got to keep Detroit in the western side. You have to. You can move Columbus over.
Yeah.
You got.
What about Nashville? Nashville could come over, maybe.
I wouldn't mind beating up on Nashville.
Yeah. So Columbus would be nice if you put them in with Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. That'd be kind of a rivalry, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they're close. It makes sense for the league.
Yeah.
Economically, as far as travel and all that kind of crap goes, they're always worried about spending dollars. So it would make sense economically.
I just think it's funny how the league was like, doing all they can to keep, Phoenix in town, and then it's like no one's even talking about the Thrashers, and they're pretty close to leaving. And
yeah. Now, did you hear our buddy Matthew Barnaby got in some trouble the other night?
Yeah, he did. I don't. I try not to pay attention to those kind of stories, but yeah. So wish Matthew the best.
I guess he beat up his house or something.
He beat up his what?
His house.
He beat up his house.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know. From the way I interpreted the story, he was arguing with, I don't know, the wife or whatever. Instead of punching her, he was punching up the house.
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's a crime, really?
I guess. I don't know. But, all right. So what else, Mike Dell? Anything? Anything hockey?
Not that I know of.
No. When do they start passing out them awards?
Not after the season. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
About a week after the Stanley Cup. Fantasy baseball? You want to talk fantasy baseball, Larry?
Yeah, how's that 30 team going?
I traded for Albert Pujols.
You got Pujols now?
Yep.
Who'd you get rid of?
Justin Morneau and Casey McGahee and John Garland for Albert Pujols.
Huh. Who was the first one?
Justin Morneau.
Justin Morneau. Yeah, I'd say that's a good trade.
Well, because Morneau, he's not looking so good. Ever since he had the concussion last year, he's not doing so good.
Right.
He might be done. Hey, did you see Kid Crosby, speaking of concussions? He was in the over in Cannes for the film festival. Did you see that?
Oh, what's he doing over there?
Yeah, it was in Puck Daddy the other day. Everybody's a Puck Daddy. He was there with Jordan Stahl and Paul Martin and Max Talbot. And their pictures were taken with the Jamie Lee Siegler, or Lynn Siegler lady.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Meadow Soprano.
Yeah. So Crosby's head can't be doing that bad. He's flying planes and whatnot, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't think, depending on which head, too.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you got concussion issues, they're not going to be letting you fly. That's why I think there's more to that. Remember our buddy the Dave? He told us that story about the spinal contusion. I think that was the real issue, I think. But,
it could be.
Yeah.
It definitely could be.
So, I don't know. I got nothing else, Larry.
All right, yeah. I got nothing. Let's wrap it up.
Bag it. Thanks to Adam Rank, and next week we'll be back. We'll have a full festive 2-hour show next week.
Will we?
Yeah.
It'll be here. I don't know how festive. I don't know how full.
I want a monologue from you, Larry. I want a winning monologue.
A winning monologue like Charlie Sheen?
I want 5 solid jokes, not 3.
5?
A lot of times you just go with 3. I want 5.
5? You're crazy.
I want winners,
great. Huh. All right, I'll see what I can do. All right, so thanks to Adam Rank. Like we said, you can follow him at the Twitters. I think Adam Rank or whatever. Just rewind an hour and.
Oh yeah, at Adam Rank on the Twitters.
Yeah.
At Adam Rank.
Yeah. And then the NFL.com. He's over there. And thanks to the Ed for coughing. And that's That's about it tonight, Mike Dell. We'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, pass the gin, Governor.
Thank you very much.